Daniel Siegel is ready. That's good. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Clodcast number 9. Today we are talking with João and Danny
Hello.
about season 2025 and also a little bit about the last season we went through. So, good evening, gentlemen. How are you?
Good
I'm
evening.
fine, thanks. Good evening.
Beers?
Of course.
Muscatel. Sorry.
Uh,
My house is too cold
Works.
for beer right now.
Also beer. It's freezing. Freezing in the shelf.
yeah. How is things?
For me, it's great actually. I just arrived from Cerventos, where the Worlds will be. So today I took the cars for a little drive. Since the Eurocrawl, I didn't drive at all, so it was a really nice day. The weather was perfect.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw some pictures, and
Yeah.
I envied you. Daniel has
Yeah.
also been driving, as it seems, today.
Yeah, the other
So,
day.
Danny, how are you? Yeah,
I'm
how are
fine,
you?
thank you. Thanks for having me.
No worries, no worries.
No worries.
Uh, Danny, you also had a competition like few days ago,
Yeah,
last week or
Yeah,
something. Last week.
yeah, but it was not like a WRCCA competition. It was more
okay.
a fun scale comp with
Okay.
basically you can drive what you bring. Yeah, and we had a special guest from Norway or Sweden, I should say, Arvid.
Sweden.
Yes, with
Yeah,
Lena, they were joining us. Yeah, but even he
cool.
was freezing because it was so cold. Yeah, it was
And
fun.
not so much creepy it showed from the
No,
picture.
no grip at all. Snow and dirt, but
I,
it
I
was okay.
wonder why. I wonder why there's no grip. Snow on the floor, on the rocks. There's no grip. Oh, what a surprise!
Obviously.
Use the wheel speed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, if it was something like Cascais, and Samu knows he's been there, if it was Cascais, as long as the tires would reach the rock, they would be gripped with snow or whatever it was. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
it was limestone, so pretty slippery
Yeah.
anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That's really
Yeah,
really
yeah.
slippery.
So, about this year, about 2024, you guys were at the Sudics and I was in the Nordics and we all were in the Europro. How was the season for you guys?
you
Joao
may go
first.
first.
Me first. Well, as far as those this year, I didn't manage to run the full the full Portuguese Championship. I just went to a few events. Uh, and as far as Sudics and Eurocrawl was fantastic. Oh, sorry. Um, the Sudics was a pretty good time, especially because I managed to do a perfect score in pro, and that was fantastic. I did one reverse in the whole pro competition. The other classes were not so perfect, but this was really, it was cool. The courses were not that hard, but still, it was cool. Um, so then it was Eurocrawl. I was I was not so confident with the cars, but confidence built up during the competition, and in the end I took third place in Shafty and first place in pro, so third place on the overall, so I cannot complain. It was, as far as big competitions, was fantastic year for me.
Yeah, to say the least.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, for me it was okay. Also, the Sudics,
How about you, Danny?
I really enjoyed. The rock was amazing. The people were amazing. The program that David put up for us all was really really good. Yeah, result wise, it was, yeah, it was okay. And on the Eurocrawl, it was, I don't remember my my results from the Eurocrawl.
You don't remember?
Yeah, but the times were really good. I really enjoyed
Yeah.
to see you all again, and we had quite some fun, I think. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, competitions, at least for me, especially when we've been doing this for some time now, it's just an opportunity to see friends again, and you spend way more time just hanging around and talking with people than you spend driving, because driving is just a very small part of the day.
Yeah.
So you travel. Oh, Samu is frozen, so this is our first chance to take over. Is just I mean, for me, it's just about chatting, and even then, when I arrive back home, is damn, I didn't spend this much time talking with this or that guy. For example, at Eurocrawl this time was like I spoke with Yad, but not that much. So I was like, I would like to have spoken more. There's always this feeling that I should have talked more with this or that guy. That's how it goes. Welcome back, Samu.
Hi.
Hello. Total crushing.
Yeah.
But yeah, luckily there's you guys. You can talk with each other.
That's true. That's true. Keep it going.
It's not so awkward.
First takeover.
Yeah.
How was it for you, Sam?
Rough summer, but yeah, Nordics was really good. I had to skip one day during the Nordics, but it went all right anyhow. And then Eurocrawl was better than I expected. I had my worst fears that it will rain all weekend and it will be really tricky to arrange anything proper there, but it went really well. So I'm really satisfied of this season, I have to say.
Yeah, I think in terms of the event overall, it went. Eurocrawl went really slick. Like Danny said, you were not at Sudix, but the work that they put in at Sudix for me was really good. So yeah, it was a very nice event, and it was for me the first time that I went to La Corogne, and amazing place, amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Damn, that's
stupidly
that's
good.
scroller. It's that scroller heaven. It's so nice.
Yeah,
so nice.
Yeah.
It seems really that we have a lot of viewers here.
That's good.
I'm barely keeping up with the comments, but I will just add them when they arrive.
Steve, so nice to have Steve.
Yeah, there's plenty of people.
Yeah, he's doing.
Yeah,
he's having quite a lot of interest, I think, from Australia for next year.
Yeah,
that's good.
And I hope they are coming, and I hope the world is at the place where they can come. So nothing will happen. Hopefully,
it will be fine.
Horace, you said that we have to build the Samu good network connection. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. So then the main beef, the next season, we will have probably three big competitions next season. Like we had this season, we will have the Sudix in Italy, then we will have Nordics in Norway, and then we will have the Worlds in Portugal. So we are really lucky to have three such a big events coming up next year. We can start. I had a video from Andrea, who is organizing the Sudix, but as we all know at the moment, the internet connection is what it is, so I'm not even trying, but I have this. Wait a minute. I have this Is it this one? No, that one. So all we know about the Sudics in Italy is this. So at the moment, the situation is that he has contacted the mayor of the city, and he has not got an answer yet whether they are ready to organize the event on that particular city. So we will still have to wait maybe 2 or 3 weeks before we know, and then I guess the big wheel starts to roll. So
Yeah.
we are looking forward for more info about that. Yeah, hopefully it will be arranged so people can have another good competition to go to.
Yeah, and start planning the trips and all that stuff. Are you guys? I'm taking over the interview. I'm sorry, Samu.
yeah, you can please.
Are you guys planning on going? Which comps are you planning on going next year?
You first, Samu.
I'm not yet sure.
Planning. I'm not throwing you under the bus.
Yeah.
Planning or thinking about it.
Planning on Nordics and planning on Worlds. Worlds definitely, but Nordics is still depends on other things. What I'm doing next summer. So Worlds definitely. I have booked a house already, and it's going to happen. So.
Casa do Professor?
No, no, it was a different one, but big house anyways.
Right. Yeah, cool.
No Zurichs?
It'll be. No.
No.
Probably not. You never know if I win a lottery or something. But
okay, that's a good.
At the
point.
moment, my money is flowing to somewhere else, so we have to skip something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same goes for me for the Nordics, but I plan on going to the Zurichs and the Worlds, obviously. But there's some details I have to manage beforehand, as João might know.
Yeah, always details.
Yeah. And there's one event in Austria, in Ritz, that I want to join. And then maybe one event in Switzerland. Yeah, and the German season. Okay. So it's a busy schedule for the next year. Yeah.
That's nice. That's the best.
Yeah, and you guys are running quite a lot of events during the year, correct?
This season 2024 we had seven events with a performance scale and one more 8 with pro only. So it was quite a lot to drive. Yes.
Yeah. For Horatio, we will answer this question later when we get to the Worlds.
Yeah. But anyway, they've already been sent. So if you didn't get it, sorry.
There's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
See you there.
Maybe.
Are you, João, planning on driving the Portuguese comps this year, or do you know the dates yet?
So I'm not 100% involved on organizing the Portuguese Championship. I've never been. I mean, I help when I can, but I've not been involved in that on the previous years. And maybe I'm talking too much, but from what I know, there's not going to be a Portuguese Championship per se. What it seems like the plan is, it's not a bad plan. It's to have a Portuguese nationals one weekend and have nationals, which is not bad.
Okay.
It's actually cool. So the side conversation is fantastic. Coming back to the competition, so there's that, which I would like to attend. Then I'm not planning for now on any international competition. except the Worlds, but the Worlds is an international that is actually national because I'm Portuguese. So, so I would really love to go to the Nordics. I checked the flights; they were not that expensive to Oslo. It's just everything else, how to get there, get a house. Even though Tommy promised me he would manage the beer, which is a big expense already done.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So, but anyway, jokes aside, I would love to go to the Nordics because, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I'm not wrong. It's the same place where Eurocrawl will be,
Yes.
more or less.
Correct.
So that would be a good just testing the ground.
A sneak
I would
preview.
love- Yeah. Just a small preview. So I would,
Look
I
at
would like
Tommy here.
Beer is
beers
already.
all right, Tommy. You are convincing me more and more. But yeah, I mean, also I need to check with my work this year, as far as work, family holidays, and whatnot didn't go too well. So I have my head on the stone, and I need to book holidays. Maybe I could have, maybe who knows, in the future some job work changes, so that will also affect how things will work. I don't know. I would love to go to the
Okay.
Nordics. I will probably not go. Long story short.
Okay, that's disappointing ending to the long story.
I mean, I really want to go, but I don't know how I will manage. It
Yeah.
also depends on my work and how this new, very recent thing will play out. So
Okay.
yeah, it is what it is.
Okay. But I
Um,
think Horacio asked you this question maybe.
how
How much
much
is it?
are you looking for a flight to Nordics? Well, I already looked, and the prices were surprisingly cheap. It was like less than 300 euros, 260, I think, from Lisbon to Oslo,
Okay.
which was really not, I mean, it's okay,
Mhm.
it's not too bad.
Yeah.
Um, Germany will bring, all right, yeah. You see, I'm covered with beer, it's all good.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was not that expensive, but then I would need to find a place to stay, how to get to the
Mm.
place. I think there are buses from the airport, maybe, I'm not sure. But anyway, I would
Mm.
need to look into it, and
Yeah. Yeah.
that's it.
It's so possible, but yeah, possible.
Possible, but big but, a big but.
Yeah. Correct. So we got to the next thing pretty easily there. So I will put it here. As you
Mm-mm.
guys said, the Nordics will be on 6th to 8th of June next year in Hov, Arendal, Norway. And from what I've seen, the pictures, it really looks good. And Tommy, we will get back to that also later.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really good, and I would really like to go there. But as I said, for me also, it's matter of other things more
Yeah.
than this.
Yeah, I mean the place looks awesome. It's just so unfair
Yeah.
that you guys in Scandinavia have so many cool spots and so shitty weather. Sorry.
Mm. Yeah.
It's just
It's
like
not always shitty. It's getting better, but
but
there.
the distribution of good rocks and good weather should be better.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah, it's rolling the dice here, and
Yeah,
it doesn't
yeah.
matter what time of the year it is. It's rolling the dice.
Yeah. Yes. But
Yeah, and
still it
Tommy
was good
Tommy
when
can yeah Tommy
it
can
was good.
remind us.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you can talk.
it was cool that in Eurocrawl in Reposari, the Portuguese guy was the one that was the most ready for the rain.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
true.
I had the full shebang.
yeah.
I think nobody was ready for the rain, especially from all
Not
directions, from the top, from the bottom.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
all directions.
Yeah.
yeah. That was stupid. Oh,
But since then, I'm not afraid of a little bit of rain anymore.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Everybody was,
Big,
maybe it's a little bit raining. We skipped this comp. But now we are going, if it's raining, it doesn't matter.
And yeah,
Because you
no,
survived this.
it was a it was a true test for the judging phones.
Yeah.
They
yes,
survived really
Yeah.
well.
yes, yeah.
For the
The
cars.
judging
Yeah.
phones, the cars.
Yeah.
Who had problems
My
with
radio didn't.
who had problems? You had problems, right, Samu?
Yeah, the
My
sauna guy.
radio
Yeah.
got too wet, and I put it in the sauna, and now it's good. But on that
Okay.
event, I had to switch.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
not anything else,
sauna,
but just the radio.
sauna solves everything.
Yeah,
Mostly.
yeah.
And you, Daniel,
it-
did you have any problems?
I was not driving. This was,
Yeah, true.
the twins was driving and their car did pretty well. We taped the remote. We put some tape on top so that no water can go in the buttons,
Yeah,
and it was
Mm.
fine the whole day.
yeah. I
I
also
just
tried
had,
to put my radio on the plastic bag, but I just couldn't drive
Yeah.
because I lost my balance on the rocks.
Yeah.
Because I'm like this all the time. I can't like do this properly, otherwise plastic bag will go away. And the rocks were so slippery, so I had to
Yeah.
put safety first. So
Yeah.
yeah,
for me, I just had a
Crazy.
small issue on one of the courses, which was surprising because none of the electronics of my car was remotely waterproof, and everything decased, everything like
Yeah.
the receiver, the ESC, everything decased, nothing waterproof. Since then, I learned, and all the electronics that I built since. I got those like a film specific for PCB parts, waterproofing PCB parts, and
Yeah,
I just
varnish.
use it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just use on everything now. So it was a lesson for everybody, I think.
yeah,
And I think that some people didn't run, but for me it was like, well, I already made the trip. I'm
Yeah.
here. The car is here. Yes, I can burn something, but I mean, yeah, I can always replace.
yeah.
So
Correct.
it was not so bad.
Yeah. So I asked the Tommy a question. We wait for him to answer. But if I don't remember wrong, the registration for the Nordics will start on 5th of January, so pretty soon.
Yeah.
Usually we don't in the Nordics we don't expect for it to be as many competitors as there are in the Sudix and Eurocrawl and World, so there should not be big issues about the amount of registered drivers. But
Well,
if
you know, well,
If I'm not frozen,
if I'm not frozen. Yeah, but
oh no,
there you go, he's back. So
He's
if you're not frozen, mistaken, you were saying, Samu?
yeah, 5th of January. That was what I was saying. That the registration will open on 5th of January.
But and he says also booking for accommodation, but there's going to be like a camping or a crawler village or everybody kind of in the same place. That would be.
Maybe Tommy can answer this on the
Yeah,
comments.
he'll get back.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you were saying, Samu, that you don't expect so many drivers, but the way that we are seeing the competitions, there's a lot of people now, or more people willing to travel and willing to go and experience Crawler Hotel. Oh, I like it.
everybody in one building.
And cheap. Oh, Tommy,
Says
you are selling
says
me
the Norwegian.
cheap. Yes, it's
Yeah.
cheap. Is it Norway cheap or Portuguese cheap?
Yeah.
Oh man.
But how many drivers were there this year on the Nordics? 2024 Nordics?
There were, I think, maybe close to 20 supers. Then there were 30 to 40 on every other classes. So we didn't try mini, but Shafty, Pro, and P scale 30 to 40. It's pretty regular numbers for Nordics. So
Yeah.
I will have a look, Tommy.
What is cheap there? Whatever you can afford.
It's not beer.
Romania cheap.
So okay.
What's Nordic crowns in euros?
You take the zero off from it. It's pretty close.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
Not so-
then not so bad.
Yeah.
So something to consider.
Yeah.
Danny, do you want to share the room with me? Wink, wink, notch, notch.
Nothing we did not do before.
Exactly.
Super 19 truck.
Yeah.
All right. So,
But
why not?
I think there will be a good amount of participation also because the Eurocrow will be there next year. I think many people will want to take the opportunity to go and test it out.
Yeah. It's always good to have a good feeling. I mean, even the traveling, if you do it the second time, you are just more comfortable with it and testing the rocks and seeing how it goes and everything. It's nice.
Yeah. Till has put his glasses on, so I was lying hugely.
Yeah, but I think it will be more this year. It's
Yeah,
looking like it
definitely.
will be more.
50 minimum, Tommy said.
Yeah.
He's expecting.
Yeah.
And the place is so amazing. And
Yeah.
wait,
Yeah.
at that time you almost you don't have midnight sun, but you are very close to it, no?
Yeah. It should be really light until. Yeah, there is no darkness. Maybe 1 or 2 hours only, like
So
shady but not dark.
So 24 hours practice.
Yeah. And if I come, I will have to bring sauna. It's like
Of course.
we have.
Yeah. That was my next question. Will there be a sauna?
I'm a big sauna guy now.
Yeah. Yeah, we discovered it too late, to be honest. In Finland, we were asked many times to go, and I don't know why we did not go. But on the last day we went, and it was really amazing experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to sauna, I think on the second night we were there. And I took the shorts and I asked Samu, like, explain how it works. And he explained how it works. And I remember Samu was like with a beer in his hand. And he goes like, you have shorts. Okay. And I said, next day, I'll do proper. But today is learning experience.
Yeah.
Sauna was good. And it's not something that I can replicate. Even if I go to a spa or something, it's totally different. It's not the same.
Yeah, you guys had the proper experience there. So.
Yeah, that was. And I went to the small one with the firewood. That was super nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, the big one was electric, I think.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
But it still was nice.
I don't know. Yeah.
The window and the view, it was great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The window is really cool.
It was somewhere around, I don't know, up there somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys made yours?
What's your local price for the year? I don't
know.
I don't understand.
Who this question is. Or maybe they are talking to each other on the chat. So.
Maybe.
Until you come out of the sauna, yeah.
No, that was good as well, because out of the sauna there's beer.
It was a nice show to watch. I don't know how many shining white body rising out of the sea.
Oh man.
We were swimming in the moonlight.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
I
romantic.
it was a
I
sunny.
remember because Danny was he went to do something else. I don't remember. I think he needed to go to your cabin or something. So you left us, and we all decided at that time, like, let's go to take a swim. Yeah, and we all went.
Yeah.
And when we were leaving the water, you were just laughing your ass off,
Yeah.
laughing and laughing. And when we reached you and you explained what you were seeing, I cracked myself up. I laughed so hard because it made total sense, like
Yeah.
zombies getting out of the water and walking.
Real life Walking Dead.
Oh, it
Yeah.
was awesome.
Nice view.
Oh, that was so nice.
Your last crawling day for the year. And yeah, because of the
So
weather,
let's
crawling is pretty much
take
done.
this.
I've made it today, so I was driving today. Last crawling day of the year. I don't think I'll be driving
Yeah,
next weekend. So
okay. Yeah, I was my last meters with the rig was in
in
Australia. Actually.
Hawaii, Australia,
Oh,
Why not?
yeah,
not so
Yeah.
bad. Just in Australia, just.
yeah. My video is coming from this
Yeah.
trip, so there's
Nice.
plenty of pretty nice spots.
No rocks in Singapore.
No, not so much, not so much. And I was
well.
afraid to be fined if I go somewhere and drive. It's super strict there.
Yeah. They're very strict.
Basically, like Germany, no rocks and strict rules.
on
Yeah,
the little rocks that you have.
Yeah.
yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. I mean, Germany is such a shame because I would really want to go there because the beer is excellent. So I would really want to go there for a comp.
Yeah, maybe.
But
we are constantly looking for locations to make something bigger.
Yeah.
But it's hard to find something you can get insurance and you can actually walk on the rocks and stuff. Most of the things we are doing are in a gray area. Yeah. In the worst case, you get a fine and have to pay 3,000 euros per person or something. In the best case, you get thrown out and never come back again. So the spot is lost. Yeah. It's tough to be a German.
It's tough to be a German. I don't know how it is in Germany, but at least in Portugal, I mean, to have for an event like what we do, to have insurance, you need to have or be part of an association or be in the name of an association or some kind of stuff like that, or a company that is also registered as event organizer, which limits, because normally we are so very few that it sucks. And also some Portuguese up in the north of the country, which they have wonderful spots by the seashore. They had issues. They were there on a local event, so not a huge amount. We are not talking about 60 drivers, it was something local. And they had the police, how do you call that? The Coast Guard police approached them and they wanted to find them, so they had to be kicked out. And fortunately they have already an association in place, and they need to ask for permits for everything, which is, I mean, it's tricky. It's tricky because they say, even to practice, you need to ask a permit. Come on, that's stupid. So if me and another friend or 5 guys are just driving around, we get fined. But if you are just walking or if you just sunbathing, you can do it. Come on. But anyway, it's a fine line.
Yeah.
To answer this question, it's from Finland, from Reposari, from the Eurocrawl in 2022. My background picture.
Cool place.
Yeah.
Very cool. Like, that is a dream spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they are explaining the German situation there.
That's true.
But the beer is so nice.
Yeah. We had good time.
Yeah, we can meet to have beers in my garden. It's no problem.
Your
There-
your garden your garden is very nice, huh?
yeah, it's nice.
Hmm.
Yes.
Please for
I'm on
me.
the same. I think that comment was from Thomas. I was on the same boat.
Yeah.
Like my super is there and still without wheels or weights. And the shafty, I put the weights and the wheels back like 2 days ago to drive today. I only drove today,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I've been busy doing other stuff when I'm at home.
Okay. So should we
Very cool.
get to the main thing?
Main thing, sure.
Joao, stage is yours.
No, the stage is ours. First of all, Danny already left. Huh? First of all, the artwork. I'm so proud of it.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
I'm quite happy with that. So I don't know. What were people asking? Registration, when they will start. The registration
Yeah.
will be, I'm planning, so it doesn't catch, because you remember that last year for Eurocrawl, I think you started on the beginning of January, 1st of January or something like that. And
No,
it was,
I started on 27th of
yeah, oh, that,
December,
yeah,
and we sold out on 29th. So
yeah, yeah.
that was the
So
case.
that was
Crazy.
the case. So to avoid that, and seeing that Tommy already posted that the Nordics will be around the 5th, what I'm planning for now is to start registration in around 15th of January, say mid-January. I don't have a fixed date yet, but it will be mid-January. But the registrations will be a bit tricky. Not tricky. I'm sure some people will like it, some people will not like it, but it is what it is. You cannot please everybody. They will be per region and in phases. So I don't know how deep you want me to go to explain this, or if it's
Yeah,
beyond the
deeply,
scope.
deeply. Let's go
Deeply,
deeper.
let's go deep.
Yes.
So the
Again.
way that we thought about the registrations was to we want to have the most ideally all the classes full. That's the plan. So we are looking for the drivers that drive the most classes will have priority. But maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. So from the beginning, we will have registration according to continents. We will probably start, or we will start, let's say, from the United States. I still don't have a fixed number, but let's say that we have 20 slots for the United States. So on those 20 slots, I will probably, or we will probably open the registration, say for 2 weeks. I think it's enough. If you make up your mind, you have 2 weeks to make up your mind, is fair enough. So on those 2 weeks, you can make a registration if you are from that continent or that region. And then the people that register within those 2 weeks, the priority will be not the first person that sent the email, but the person that sends first the email and drives the most classes. So if one guy is the first one to register, but only drives one class, and the guys that come after drive more classes, even though he was the first to send the email, he will not have priority in registration. Okay? So this is the plan. So dividing this by regions, I don't have an overflow of 200 emails to read or 150 emails to read, or maybe I do, but I have time to go through them. Then after we register the United States, I know already how many people put their name in. So this gives me leverage to know how many slots I will open, for example, for Europe, because I expect the most from European continent, which is obvious. So let's say that we plan to have 100 on the performance scale, sportsman, pro. We plan to have 100 slots, 100 drivers. Okay. So it's plenty. This means that we have double start on every course. So the courses will have, all the classes will have double start. This means 2 drivers per course at the same time. One driver starts, it reaches gate 7, 6, 7, whatever, we will see. And then the second driver starts. So we go fast.
Yeah.
So 100 drivers for these 3 classes. And then for the day that is missing will be mini and super on the same day, and we will have in total 100. So I don't know if we will have like 60 mini and 40 super. It depends how it goes. I can still play around with it, but 60-40 is what we are planning. So with these slots, we make the registrations per continent. Then it comes to Europe. Again, the priority for, imagine that I put 20 from the United States, 20 slots from the States, 30 slots from Europe. From these 30 slots, we have also priority by the amount of classes that you drive. Okay. And then 10 slots for Australia and Asia. So for those just 10 slots, I think it's enough. If it's not, there's leverage there. Imagine that I have 11 drivers that show interest from that region. Man, I'll be happy to have 11 or 12 guys, but I don't expect to be more than that, or more than 10. Even if we have 10, it's fantastic. So after this, so imagine that we have 20 from the States, 30 from Europe, 10 from Eurasia, the rest of the world, this we have 60, so then we still have 40. So with those 40, when we will open, this will come on the first email. So first come, first serve. It doesn't matter how many classes you want to drive. Sounds complicated. Maybe it's a little bit complicated, but we wanted to give priority to the guys that drive the most classes. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make too much sense to have one guy that has 5 classes, but then because he didn't click on the email send on the first day, he can only drive 3 classes. So yeah, it's not going to be perfect, and not everybody will love the idea, I'm pretty sure, but that's how everything goes. And sorry guys, and we are experimenting, so we will see. Maybe this will work, maybe it will not work, I don't know, but I think this is fair. It goes towards having the most amount of classes filled up, and also because it's by phases, we don't want to have an overload, a huge amount of overload on the emails. So when each region registration is finished, like those 2 weeks of registration is finished, a list will be made and it will be sent. It will be made public. If your name is not on the list, you have to register again on the second, on the second phase. So complicated, maybe. I hope it's kind of clear. So does this mean 2 weeks for the United States, mid-January? So you, give or take. I'm not set on stone on the dates, but it will be something like that.
You will be the first to know.
I'm not sure. Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Sign me in now. Where do I send the money? Yeah, sorry.
To me.
Yeah. So I mean, this is the plan.
It's not that easy. It's not that easy as you
But
it was full chaos on the Eurocrawl, having 200 registered drivers, including the waiting list. You have to make priorities, and I think it's good to have guys driving the most classes, because it makes no sense to have some guys blocking a spot for another driver that's, like João said, can only drive 3 classes if he wants to go for 5.
Yeah, and there's people, and they are totally entitled to. For example, imagine Carl Berger. He's a fantastic driver, and he used to only drive pro. So it's a shame that there's a possibility of such a very good driver on one class, and it's possible that he will be left out. But also, like, I think the overall classification, it should be more important than it is. I think it's really cool when you are overall champion or you do well overall. It's like, man, you are a very good driver on all classes, and that's very cool. So it's decisions. Like, it's not going to be perfect for everybody, and we know that. But you have to make choices. As far as what Horacio was saying, I will read this, Tommy, later. As far as what Horacio was saying, you should make sure to get the best guys for each class. Well, not necessarily for each class. The way that we did, and he asked before about the invitations, we already made the invitations. The invitations were top 5 drivers. In pro is the most important class. So it is what it is. It's the most classic and most important class. Is the king of classes. So top 5 at this year's Eurocrawl on pro and overall. Top 5 on this year's USA Nationals, pro and overall, and top 5 in last year's Worlds, pro and overall. So we already have, like, it's a decent amount of drivers, and they are the best. They are the best in pro, and they are the best overall. We cannot invite the best 5 of every class. I mean, then I'll have a invitation list, huge invitation list.
30 drivers.
And it's already half. It's not half, but it would be nice. But I cannot be so picky. I want to give priority to the best drivers because I want to have the best drivers at the World Championship. But also, it has to be fair. I cannot invite everybody, and then it's like an invitational. It's not a competition, it's an invitational. I'm inviting everybody. It doesn't make sense as well. So, yeah.
And let's be honest, the real problem here is the performance game. Because I don't think that the other classes will reach this number. The 100 drivers. I doubt it.
Yeah, if you look at the registrations for the Eurocrawl, there were a lot of guys on every class on the waiting list. The most, of course, on the P-scale class, but every class had a long list.
Yeah, but in the end, there were only P-scale was the only class that had guys remaining on the waiting list. So they bluffed out or something happened. So
that's true.
It's. I think there's going. With 100, that's the thing, like with 100 drivers per class, we have space. We plan to have space for a lot of drivers. So we don't want to be scaring people. But also, I don't want to have, the registration will open on 15th of January, and then everybody will be with the finger on the mouse and just pick. Or just programming the email to send at 001 at midnight, 1 minute past midnight on that day. And there has to be a little bit more. I spend way too much time thinking of a kind of fair way how to manage this. And this is what kind of between the three of us, what we discuss. And maybe it's the best way to go forward. I don't know. We will see. Let's do this next October. And then I'll tell you if it worked or not.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Good plan. What will be the best way to ensure that those who registered actually show up here?
The payment. Once you spend the money,
you're in. You can't force anybody.
you cannot force everybody, but for sure, I mean, for sure, this is something that I didn't talk with the guys on the organization. So it's not set on stone what I'm going to say here. So take it with a grain of salt. But what I think is, if we reach August, there's no money back. Like once the registrations, and I don't even know if it's going to be August or even before that. Once the registration list is closed, once it's closed, I'm not going to give anybody's money back. I'm sorry, guys. You registered. It's your spot is saved. Is done. That's it. You know, if you're coming or not. I mean, I'm sorry, but
exactly.
So the best way is to go to. Once you spend the money, you want to go because you already spent the money. Money is always the biggest incentive for everything.
Yeah.
Why don't you do it by qualifying over the current year? Yeah, but that's more or less what we try to do.
Also, what are you taking as a reference? Do you take the national comp series or the last Zurichs or whatever to decide who qualified? Or will you run qualifying races? That's going out of hand, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, in the way the invitations that were sent out were kind of, we tried to get the best in the last year because it already went to the previous worlds. So I hope it's fair, and I hope that we have enough slots that registration is not a problem. Performance scale is the one that has that I've been in the sport for longer and all the classes. Yes, but this is something that I talked privately with Horatius before. When you drive more classes, you make the trip worthwhile more, in my opinion. For me, this is, maybe I'm biased, but like I make no secret about it. Like I drive performance scale. It's not my favorite class. I don't have a hate for it, but it's not my favorite class because I already had the other 4 classes. But I drive it because I'm already there. What am I going to do? Look at the other guys drive and drink beer? Is not a bad plan, but driving is more fun. Driving and drink beer.
Yes. To be fair.
Yeah. So it's like yes, it's for me. It just pays off the trip because you have more fun on the rocks. You chat with more people. So to drive more classes for me, and I think for the majority, is more fun. Is more expensive money? Yes, yeah, of course. But you have to build the cars. But still, it's.
How do you think, if we talk just performance scale, how do you think, are there like more Portuguese than there were Italians that were doing only one class this year? Has it gone up or gone down from Zurich?
Down.
Okay.
Down. A lot of people quit because like I'm in this crawler shenanigans for how long it is now, 13, almost 14 years. Next in 1 month will be 14 years that I'm doing crawling, and for me it was like, this is what I want to do. You know, I have also a drift car that is sitting there on the shelf for, I don't know, 2 years without running. I also have some scale cars that now actually on this last few months, last year, this year, I've been using them quite a bit, but like I'm a competition guy. But the way talking with the guys on the scale group, like you can totally see that it's everything is like fashion. One buys a rally car, everybody buys a rally car, then they sell. Then everybody buys a basher, then everybody buys a basher. One buys a basher, okay, let's bash, and then they sell, and then and people are like this, ups and down. And performance scale was the same. It went up, then some people want immediate like this. They want results like this. If that guy passes there, why I cannot pass? Well, maybe because your car sucks. Maybe because you suck and you didn't drive, you didn't test as much. It takes years,
Yeah.
but people want like that, and it doesn't happen. So they get frustrated. Oh, the
Straight.
courses. We go to a competition. The courses are too hard. Well,
For you,
me, or maybe one or two guys finished with -40. So no, the course was not too hard. It's just you didn't
Mm.
put the work in. But people want immediate results. They want to
Yeah.
start something and to excel on it immediately, just
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work. It's not like that it works. So people get
Yeah.
frustrated. So it goes up, then it's not fashionable anymore, and yeah, it goes
Yeah.
down. So I don't think we'll have as many like we had on Sudix.
Mm.
But it now I'm resigned with it. I'm good. It's like it is what it is.
Mm. Yeah.
I know what
Uh,
you're saying. But
yeah, you can get this feeling, but it's not true.
yeah, I mean, coming back to Horatius, a lot of people have only performance scale. True, but if you have performance scale only and you've been doing this for, I don't know, 2 or 3 years, um, it's cool to try different classes. I'm not
Yes.
saying not everybody has the budget or the will, but now it's so much stuff on AliExpress. You can build a car cheap, like really cheap. A shafty, cheap, very cheap.
Yeah.
mm.
So I mean, uh, people they it's like the discussion that we had. Um, Samu for sure. We had this for a long time. Is
Yeah.
when Samu was on the WRCCA about the rules of performance scale. They always wanted to push for allowing more and more and more and more stuff on performance
Mm.
scale. But
Yeah.
they forget that we have 5 classes. If you want more performance, just build another car from another class. Don't expect to have one class that does everything. It doesn't work. You have 5 classes. Just you want more performance, build a shafty. You want to put your motor on now you cannot do, but you want to do like a very forward skid, build a shafty. Build other class. Each class has
Mm.
their own limitations, and they are all fun and expensive, kind of.
Yeah.
I'm at 4 classes right now, and I couldn't be happier. You have to open up your
Yeah.
horizon, look over
Yeah.
over
Yeah.
the. I don't know. Don't
and,
be so
and
stubborn on only one class, and this class has to be the best class. There's no such
because
thing as best class.
because also you are missing out, because in terms of how to drive and what do you learn, they all teach you something.
Yeah.
They all make you a better driver.
Yeah.
So like for example, I started with a pro class was my first car. When I went car sharing is yeah,
They're talking
car
about
sh-
me. They want me to
car
drive super as well, but
car
they're
sharing
complete
is allowed, but only 2 drivers.
drivers. That's a pity for me.
Mm. So as I was saying, like I started with pro, and pro, in my opinion, is a very forgiving class, especially when
Mm.
you are learning, because once you learn how to play with the remote, you are allowed to correct your line. Once I started driving shafty, you have no dig, no way to correct anything. You miss by 5 millimeters, you're done. You're doing a reverse. So that makes
Yeah.
you a better driver. But also, like if you are a performance scale or shafty guy, you drive a pro, you learn more about how to control the remote, how to adjust your car, because then you can adjust your car. So there's always stuff to learn.
Mm.
Yeah, we have so many pro drivers in Germany right now. There's so
Yeah.
many
That
new coming. It's amazing.
yeah, like I don't want to shit on the plate of performance scale by any means. Like it's not my favorite class, but I see that it bloody works, and it has brought so many people to the sport
Mm.
that I don't want to. I don't have anything against performance scale. It's just not my favorite class. That's it. But I want it to be there. And performance scale, is this registration method because of performance scale? Not really. I think it's just a more is fair, is more fair. Fairer, is that a word? I don't know.
Yeah,
Is more fair to like, I want to give priority to people that drive most classes because that makes sense to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think if you invest the time and the money to build more cars, you should have priority on a big competition. I'm not saying that everybody has to agree with me, but this is within the organization of the worlds. We thought that this was the way forward. And yet, having said this, there's still place for people that only drive one class and they can just press that email at 1 minute past midnight and they'll still get in. So there's room for everybody.
Yeah.
On the Eurocrawl 2022, I was coming for one class for performance scale. And I had a guy in Germany that said, hey, you can take my Pro with you, so you don't go for one class only. And it made me look to other classes, and it opened up my mind about this. And I wish I would have all the other cars as well, to have as much driving time as possible, not only one.
Yeah. And for this comment, if we want a competition, if we are 3 people in a class, it sucks. I don't think so. If you are 3 people already, it's pretty good. If you are only 2, then it's kind of But 3 is a very good start, and if you keep doing that, they will follow. So at least that happens here.
Because the thing is like, for example, I think Yeno, I hope I'm not murdering your name, but Yeno, I think he's from Romania, and they drive more performance scale. So if you start with performance scale and you have a competition of, let's say it's performance scale and pro, for example, if you have them on the same day, guys from performance scale will start looking and go like, that shit is cool.
Yes.
And they go like, it's interesting. And we saw that in Portugal. More and more people go like, that's cool, I want a piece of that. And then they ask around, what is this? What is that? How can I build one? And it will happen. Because it's always like that.
We did this in Germany this year to make a 2 days event with pro and performance scale, and sometimes we drive mini. And this year, in the end, we had 28 pro drivers over the season, which is quite a big number, and 16 drivers on mini, which is also an incredibly high number, I think. Yeah. For the performance scale, it was 45 overall drivers.
Yeah, very nice.
Really good numbers. Compared to the last years, it's very high.
That's a pretty good number for a place where you have so much limitation as far as spots, and like, it's incredible numbers.
Yeah, there were many guys saying, I stay until tomorrow and watch you guys drive pro. Oh, I need to have this. And so they bought up. Yeah, that's how it goes, like you said.
And no, go ahead.
Reading this.
Yeah, for Finland, it's the same, that there are some guys who have been driving the P scale now 3 or 4 years, and every year we are pushing them. Then there is a good pros for sale now, and you should buy these. And when they try for the first time, there's no coming back. It's like it might take time, but when they try it, that's the way.
You know, the thing that I find funny, and maybe for Samu was similar. Like, for me, I came from pro, so like the remote work, like how to play with the remote, was already there. And when you go from pro to a shafty car, it's simpler. Like, you don't have so much buttons and confusion and digs and all that. And I think when people go like performance scale or 2 channels, or they are doing I don't know, scale for many years, and they are just 2 channels, then for some people it's tricky to learn the digs and all that, but they just have to put the hours and put the work and practice, and that's how I see it.
In my opinion, it's easier to go from a shaft-driven car to a MOA rig, because you can
Really?
correct errors. Yeah, you have much more options to correct your line and stuff. For me, it was
in the pro.
with the pro. It's easier to start with
Absolutely.
a car and then go to a pro, because you can
Yes.
fix so many things you cannot with a shaft-driven car.
I totally agree, but the only thing is to get used to the remote, how to work the remote.
Yes.
And there is it was Miguel, the Portuguese guy that went to Sudix, and he did quite well. He was driving pro with only like a on-off switch on the dig, and I told him, like, for me, when you start driving proportional, to have the proportional, it opens another window because it's the fine details. And then I think he just got a radio now, and he said, now I know what you're saying. You know, like, there's always layers of complexities. Depends how far do you want to go. It like you can do everything. You can play with one of these with the stick radios, and then woohoo! It's so much fun.
Yeah.
Assundi, 2 years ago, if you got the list of the worlds or not. Because if we need to open the registrations first. So I want to I don't want to set this on stone, but end of February, March, it depends when we start. If we start 15, 1 month, maybe mid-March, February, March, would be
okay.
We should. There's still plenty of time to book flights and stuff like that.
For the real man.
No, man. No, I think that's super.
Probably.
No, super is even when I drove super for the first time, it was like, whoa. And then when your brain understands that actually is the rear axle that's in charge of the whole shebang most of the times, then it's like, okay, now I got this.
And it clicks. Yeah,
then it clicks. But the first time I drove it was like, damn, this like, because your eyes are so used to, at least for me on a pro or most of the cars, like your eyes are so focused on the front wheels because they are the ones that steer. And then you drive a super, it's like, oh wait, but there's the rear ones that actually are more in charge than the front. So you have to really pay attention. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
It actually, was in France on the Sudix, I drove your supercar, and it was crazy. What this can do.
Yeah. Look, I'm working on a new super
chassis. A new one. Oh, okay, the chassis.
Yeah.
Sneak peek.
Sneak peek.
For my future car, you are sending to me?
I have enough parts to build 2 cars, so.
Maybe another loaner rig?
Maybe. Even though loaning a super is, I really admire Samu, because loaning a super is like. Yeah.
Mistakes were made.
If I ever loan a super, or actually any car that I loan, I don't want to be on the same group as that person, because I made an exception with Samu and Thiago this time because I was running the batteries on the Mini. But the Mini, I was like, break it if you want, it's fine. But other cars is like, I don't want to be anywhere near it, because I don't want to be like, oh man, just grab the bloody car. No, I want to loan the car and say, just have fun and go for it.
In Portugal, you lent me your Shefty.
Yeah. It's still.
and you are still
No,
suffering from
no.
my
We,
driving. No.
were we on the same group? I
Yes,
don't
we were.
remember.
Yeah,
I
in
don't
Czech.
remember. But that shafty was a bit. It's fine. It's okay.
I liked it. It worked
Yeah,
good.
yeah. It worked good, but it was not like my main shafty as well. It was like a loaner rig. That's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Samu loaning is only super. No,
Yeah. And it broke.
no.
Did it
Yeah,
broke? No.
yeah,
I
yeah,
had to switch the gears on the front axle between the courses, so it wasn't ideal.
yeah. No,
Bully
that
axles or extra 10?
Bully
Which
axle.
axle? Bully
the
axles.
bully too.
Yeah.
And is there any way to get those gears anymore?
Not that it looks like not. I have
Yeah,
one extra set and then I'm screwed after that.
Gold dust.
that that's not cool. That's
No,
not cool.
not ideal.
Maybe
Yeah.
Deluxe will
Yeah,
produce.
hopefully, but
Hopefully.
I don't think so for the few sets
No,
that have been sold that it's
no, but they
like
sold, I don't know, 10 sets of those axles or something like. They sold so few.
Super bully
I
axles.
yeah,
I don't know. I just threw a number, but I've seen with me I've seen four cars with
yeah.
Super Bully 2 axles, maybe five.
Mm.
One in the
Wow.
States, and I think 3 or 4 in Europe.
Oh,
Yeah, one is
three
in
in
Germany.
Finland,
There are
one in
3 in
Germany,
Finland. So
one
3 in
in
Finland,
France,
1 in Germany, 1 in France. So those
two
are
in France, two in France.
okay. So those
Yeah,
are what, 6? 1 in the States,
yeah,
7. So
yeah,
okay, 10. They sold 10 or 20.
Maybe.
yeah,
So
yeah.
let's say the gear market is not huge.
No,
Yes.
no.
But I'm very happy with that Deluxe now has at least
Yes,
the gears for the Bluetooth that were failing the most. And I need to buy a set or 2 of those.
yeah, correct. What else? Oh, have you anything to tell about the world's? Anything more?
Anything more? So the registration timing, don't say to me, oh, but you said that it will be, because this is not set on stone yet. Okay, but this is the plan yet. What else? We are not going to be planning where people will be staying or sleeping.
Hmm.
If you are, especially if you are on a very tight budget, there is like a youth hostel, very relatively close by, is like 20 minutes drive or 15 to 20 minutes drive. Not that far away, and it's really reasonably priced. But
Is
anyway, tell me.
is this the one that you were planning on the last Zurichs and which was
Yes.
occupied by the government? Yeah.
Yeah. That was very unfortunate, but at the same time, a lot less stuff for me to organize, but it was really stressful.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Because you have everything planned, and then just before the event they say, oh, but
Hmm.
even they, like, it was not their fault of that place.
No.
Yeah,
Even they were totally pissed off about the situation. So
yeah,
it was the government that took over the youth hostel, and that's that. Yeah.
yeah.
Nothing to do about that situation. But yeah, so especially if people are on a tight budget, or they are not, imagine that instead of being a group of 4 or 5 guys, that it's easier to rent a house, they can rent that spot. um what else? Camping spot nearby? Yeah, not that I know of.
You don't get that car finished anyways to do the camping.
um but
Challenge
there
accepted.
We will see.
okay, I correct myself from before. I said that there's no better motivation than money. There's also a second highly motivation, that is proving somebody else wrong. That is a huge motivation. You're like, that one guy said I could not do it. I will do it. Like,
Yeah.
bully one axles are not good. I will prove them wrong. It only took me like 14 years, but I proved them wrong.
And almost no modifications.
Only small modifications. Only the gearbox. Only the gearbox is left.
But,
Yeah.
but imagine, I was thinking this today that you won the Pro with Bully 1 axle and Wyatt won the Super with Bully 1 Super axle.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And
yeah.
and even at the worlds, it is always question time for you, Stevie. Just shoot. Um, if you see the worlds in 2023, it was a Berg V1 that won from Dave Cape.
Yeah.
It was a XR10 that was second, and it was a Bully 1 that was third.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
old cars, all of them really old.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
it's how it goes. So okay, coming back for the worlds, we are planning. So this is also something why we are pushing for the double start. Ideally, we want to have finals on every class, which especially on the day with mini and super on the same day, it will be tough.
Yeah.
We plan, especially on that day, we will have to see. We have to see how the day goes. If it's possible, it's possible. If it's not possible, it's not possible. If it's possible to do only one, we imagine that we can only do for mini, we will do only for mini. If we have enough daylight to do mini and super, fantastic.
Yeah.
But this is the plan. Because I don't know for you guys, some people like finals, some people don't. For me, it's absolutely the best time.
Yeah.
And most of the people that I've talked to, drivers and non-drivers, they are on the same boat. Like, if you are a driver and you make the final, it's amazing. If you don't make the final and you see the top 5 of that class, it's amazing. Like, it's such a nice spectacle. It's nice. I love it.
Yeah.
We will try to have a area, the lowest part of the rocks, of the rock front, the lowest part, we plan to be reserved for finals only. So no other classes will be, no other courses, regular courses will be driven there. That's something.
So everything is fresh. No gates that was there before. Everything is new.
Yeah. That's our plan. And I think we have enough space for that. Yeah, I totally agree with Stevie. It's such a nice time. I think the finals in Sudix was great. Yeah. On Eurocrawl, I think the course for Pro was a bit too easy. Unfortunately, we didn't have final for Shafty. I like finals, so it's fine whether I drive it or not. I think it's funny, it's tricky the final at Eurocrawl, because you look like the course was too easy. The course was not hard enough to make a difference, but in the end, it was the final that made the difference.
Yeah. Correct.
I think
And
what Tommy means is that you could not watch as a spectator. It's hard to watch because you had to look up. So it was hard to see anything. I did not see anything. I only saw one gate that was near to a tree. I think it was a bone.
That is
I
true.
could really see. And the rest was only hearing, no looking.
In that point, yes, I think.
Yeah, but more or less that was the only place where it was possible to do it, because there was not space on the other spots. So
I'm not
it would be too crowded. But I agree the course was too easy now that we drove it so well. When you went there and looked at it, it didn't look that easy, although the bonuses were way too easy
Honestly,
final.
I think I mentioned this to you maybe, but when I walked the course and I was
Yeah.
looking at the gates, I was sure that with those five guys driving the final, I thought like we would all get maximum scores. When I walked the course, that was the feeling I had.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So in my head was like maybe somebody will do one reverse or something, but everybody will clear this course. Because I walked and I looked like this gate said, oh, it's okay. I looked the other gate, it's okay, and so on. And I was looking like, okay, there's maybe that gate 4, gate 5 was a bit
Yeah.
tricky. But other than that, I looked and said, it's okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was good fun. And looking back when we had the videos, when I get stressed, I start calling out time often, very often, and I call time a lot, and I had like 2 minutes to finish. It was
Yeah.
very cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was good time.
But talking about hard final scores, Steve is
Yeah,
remembering.
yeah, that was, you see, it's a fine line. That one was way too hard.
Yes.
That was stupid hard. It's too much.
It was way too hard, and the drivers were way too pushy. They didn't
Yeah.
think tactically at all. So.
Yes, also because some
Yeah.
points, if you straddle one gate, you have the huge advantage on another one.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Exactly.
The problem in Italy was to judge, is this going to work or not? Will there be grip or not? Can this gate be driven or not? We had some gates we thought, yeah, it looks so super easy, and the car did not get any grip, and everybody
yeah,
failed or had to straddle.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
some gates
Yeah.
looked super hard, and they were really easy to do. It's hard
it,
to.
it was very funny, and I think it was the German course. Correct me if I'm wrong, Danny. But the day after the pro final, we drove performance scale, and on the same place of the final, we had a course there for performance scale, and I went like, wow, this is way harder than the course yesterday of the final. It was
Yeah.
wow. I was so
Yeah.
lucky on that course. I finished that course with the performance scale, and I was so lucky, so lucky.
I had the great pleasure of driving in the rain. When I had actually the twins and me, when we had to drive, it started raining, so it was no fun at all. This course, it kicked our
Yeah,
asses pretty much.
yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Samu got really lucky with the rain because we drove
Yeah.
in the dry on the beginning of the day. Always the German course. I-
Those
Samu, Samu, the Germans are the new Norwegians. You
Yeah.
remember the
It seems.
yeah,
When,
ambition.
yeah, because when I started doing this, the first Euro crawl in 2015 in Spain,
Yeah.
everybody was like the Norwegian course was the hardest in pro, and
Yeah.
from then on was like the level was always like that. And I think we are adding the Germans. Even,
Yeah.
but having said this, I think Jan Kenneth from Norway, or I don't know with
He
whom he built,
tried
he built for 6.
for
Yeah,
pro. Yeah.
it was
That was.
a tough piece, a tough piece
I
of
was
code.
sweating quite a lot in the finish.
It was fine. You were, but
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That course, I was really sorry for Dario. Dario Mach, he was going to finish that course with, I think, 1 reverse or 2 reverses. Yeah,
Yeah.
because when he left, you know, on the bottom on that ledge, you had the bonus. So he went up the bonus. He went up. He did a reverse. When he was coming down, one wooden stick wedged inside his rear wheel and wedged on the rear axle, and it totally stopped the car. Then he didn't nobody realized it was a stick, so he tried to get away. He rolled over, blah blah blah, and the time ran out. If it wasn't, it was really unlucky.
Oh no.
Without that, he would finish that course, I think, with 1 or 2 reverses. And
Yeah.
even me, I did a rollover because I tried to jump a rock out of no necessity. I wanted to jump when I was walking the course, say, this rock is fantastic to jump. And I was driving, say, let's jump. And I jumped, the car took a bad bounce, roll over, and I took 5 points from there. And I think 1 or 2 reverses. But if it wasn't for that stupid jump that I wanted to do for no reason, I would have finished also with, I don't know, 37 points or something.
Yeah.
But it was a tough course, very tough course.
A problem on this course was also if you were one of the later groups to drive this course, there was so much dirt everywhere. It was on some courses, the dirt really was a problem. If there were maybe 50 people going over, there was so much dirt, there was no more grip.
Yeah.
Especially when it rained.
Yes.
And
yeah.
That was the trickiest part of that spot was the dirt. Yeah.
But we were lucky still.
Yeah.
That's one way to look at it, Samu. And we were lucky, huh?
Yeah. Let's look at it like this.
Yes.
The view was really nice. The coffee was good.
The beer was nice. The pizza was okay.
Yeah, the beer was nice, but it was also expensive.
True.
Yeah.
Cheap.
It depends who you ask, you see. It was like it was cheaper than water in Finland.
€5.
I have to.
One beer.
I have to tell one story because you were talking about the course where Dario failed, or the stick went through the wheel. I remember. I don't know if Steve remembers. In Australia, in the Worlds 2018, there was this one course that was hard, but in the pro that was hard but doable until there was gate 9 on top of a rock and a 2 meters drop and a boundary underneath the rock, and there was space like less than a meter underneath the rock, and it was super slick. So you had this opportunity to go through 9 and go a little bit lower and come from the side or go straight down. And I didn't make any mistake before gate 9. I took all the bonuses, and I went 3 times on the boundary.
3 times.
Took a DNF. Yeah.
Oh shit.
And I knew it will happen. And there was no other way. I tried every single angle to approach the line. Yeah, but I think the last time I dropped, I took 30 points, and I dropped in the box on the roof. So I have 30 points, and there was not like enough space to roll over because of the boundary. And the gate 10 was like, if you drop from here, the boundary is like this, and gate 10 is like the other way. You have to make a turn. So I was on my roof. There, I didn't touch anything, but then I tried to drive it through the gate with the roof, and I hit the other ball with the front tire. Yeah, crazy.
It happens.
Yeah.
The best always have luck. Yeah, that's true. And that's one thing when I see very good drivers drive, and you think like you look once and twice, so that's lucky. That's a lucky, and it's not lucky, man. It's not lucky.
Yeah.
I don't know. You see videos like Dave Cape is obviously an amazing driver. When I see videos of their competition, like the live feeds or stuff like that, and it's you go and like he was on his roof, he's back on his wheels. Sometimes there's luck, but a lot of times there's no luck there. It's very good. And you when you get lucky too many times, maybe it's not only luck.
Yeah,
there's skill there.
Yeah.
But so
okay.
Worlds,
and
we are planning.
Yeah.
We are planning to have beer there as well.
That's good. Are you planning to have the same food truck as last time?
Yeah, hopefully. And if you remember on Sudix, the first day they only had the small glasses or the small cups,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then I think people were always asking for the half liter, and then the next day they showed up with. So we have to remind them, just don't forget the big ones.
yeah.
It's no kindergarten.
What will you take with you from RC from?
Good
This
question.
is question. Yeah, this is question for me. I think time management, because they also have 5 minute time limit, and with the 1-to-1 rig, it's crazy when you have to start rush. It's you are all over the place unless if your seat belt is not like properly attached. It's crazy ride. I think
Especially
time
on the
management.
Samurai.
Yeah, and other than that, there's nothing much to get from here. It's so different. The being inside of the car when you drive it, it's different. You can't see anything. You can do it, but you can't see the front tires, and it takes time to learn.
But do
Rollovers are very painful compared to an RC car.
yeah.
Because there's people inside.
Do you have don't roll over maybe? Yeah, maybe. Do you have any or a few experience driving one-on-one off-roader, Samu?
Yeah, one competition this summer.
No,
So,
but before that, do you normally drive off-road cars at all, or jeeps or stuff like that? No, never.
No.
Only snowcats.
Yeah, only
Yeah, that's different.
I also have a Suzuki Samurai. In fact, is right here, right in front of me.
Yeah.
But
this reminds me of one thing I wanted to ask you. How did you bring all the stuff back home that you got on the Eurocrawl? The gifts.
Who?
You also got this.
Me.
The Austrians and
I took everything else, but I gave the snowcat to David, and he has to send it to me before Christmas, but I think he forgot already, so it's still in France. You know French people.
Yeah.
Work in progress. We are in the south. He said.
I hope he will send it to me, but I have everything else, so it's good.
Okay. Hey, see you, Horatius.
Bye.
Yeah, thanks for the questions.
I'll be back in a minute. I have to do something.
You go. do something. I don't know what.
Okay.
So you already have a rented house?
Yes, and it was like 10 to 15 minutes from the campsite, so not that bad.
I should start thinking about renting something for myself as well.
There was this Black Friday deal in Booking.com, and I got it like 500 euros cheaper than normally. So
wow,
I went for it,
that's...
even though I don't know how many. There's room for 10 people, and we are 6 people at the moment. So
nice.
It should be. But of course, it depends who will get who can join the competition or not. But I can still cancel it if it needs to be.
It depends how. Get the new beer. It always depends with who you want to share. I mean, if you have such a big house, there's always that. We are planning to have this for lunch, like we had at Sudix. For dinner, it's still a work in progress. We don't know if we'll have dinner available. We would like to have close to the campsite or something, some place where we can have dinner and we can all be together a little bit. For whoever wants, of course. I think it would be cool because at the end of the day, man, it sucks to go back home and cook something when you're tired
Mm.
of more than 12 hours on the rocks. You
Yeah,
just
yeah.
want to
No
not
way.
cook, not cook. We'll do something else, but not cook. But we will see. How far is the income site for the one? It's like 10-15 minutes drive. It's really close.
North.
Possible to rent the same house. I don't know where you rent the other one, but where was the other one? But
Lisbon.
this one. But it's like 10 minutes away, and it's 10 minutes closer to Porto de Mós, which is the biggest city. Um, so I don't know where did you if your house was north of the comp site of Sudix, it will be closer to the new spot.
Now it gets
Yeah.
complicated.
Yeah, like, but yeah, you can rent the same place. It's not that far away.
Mm.
Australia.
I think he wasn't here when we were talking about it. So
You are set.
Yeah. Yes.
You are
If
set.
if you are five drivers from Australia, you should have all guaranteed slots. And also, like, man, if you are making the flight from Australia to Portugal, you deserve a spot. It's like the opposite side of the world. Literally, uh, opposite side of the world from Portugal is New Zealand. So if you're coming from Australia, it's close enough to be the furthest you can get. So it's cool. I would love to have some Australians here, to have everybody. Let's see. Also from the States, it would be cool to have some guys. We'll see. I'm not seeing a lot of enthusiasm about it from the States side. So who knows? I don't know. We'll see. Hope I would like to have a few drivers from the States. It would be cool if I could have. Oh, if we could have, like, I don't know, 15 drivers. I would be stoked to have 15 drivers from the States. But I doubt that it will happen. Surprise me, guys. It would be nice. I think that Wyatt is planning on coming. Maybe Jake, maybe Nabil. We'll see. I know nothing about Dave Cape, if he's planning on making the trip or not. I know it's
yeah,
expensive, but it's how it goes. It was also expensive to go to the Worlds there. So
yeah. And I think as for the other nations than Europeans and the Americans, I think there are Australians that are coming. Then maybe 1 to 3 guys from Israel, and then possibly Japanese, but you never know.
yeah, you never
Yeah.
know.
When
It would
was
be nice for sure.
when was the last time for somebody from Asia or Japanese guys?
10 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are there still active drivers? I don't know.
Semi-active. Not they are not doing competitions in
Okay.
WRCCA, but they have the rigs and they have the possibilities to start in a blink of an eye.
They
it,
should.
it was funny because on one-on-one scale, like proper full-size cars, in Japan they had, I don't know if they still have, but years ago, because I have a Suzuki Samurai and I was like deep into rock crawling, one-on-one rock crawling,
Yeah.
Pirate 4x4, all that jazz. Like before I got into RCs, like for many years, I was following one-on-one full-size rock crawling, and Japanese had a very big comp series there, and very big crowd using samurais, but also like full-on rock crawlers. And they had guys coming from the States, cars coming from the States. It was really cool. It was a mix
I
because the
think,
cars were a mix of Japanese style with American style, so it was cool mix.
yeah, I think they still are running that, but perhaps the guys from the States are not, after COVID,
Yeah,
they have not gone there, so
yeah.
maybe.
And also the scene changed quite a bit because before it was rock crawling, like going slow, and now everybody wants to do Ultra 4, like just go
Yeah,
go fast and blast
yeah.
the rocks. So
Mm,
even that changed quite a lot.
yeah.
And did you guys see, talking about that, talking about Ultra 4, and I remember John Hall that won the USA
Mhm.
Nationals after not driving for so many years. Did you see the small clip on, I think was on Pro Shafty and Moa, the Facebook group, that he was driving the small course that he did? Damn, that was,
No, I did not see that.
oh
No,
man,
no, no, no.
that's a very nice video. Try to look it up. I think
Yeah.
they don't say that it's him, but he's driving sticks, and I saw his car, and I think it's him driving. It's really like, I was looking like, that's a good course and that's amazing driving. Like I was like, yeah,
Okay.
that's cool, that's rad. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. He's a good driver, definitely.
yeah, yeah. But it was strange on the USA Nationals. Of course, it's a organizational choice. Like the drivers could, on the final, they could see
Mm,
other drivers drive, which is
yeah.
a bit
And
strange.
they can even spot the other driver, so
Yeah,
strange.
very strange.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah.
That makes no sense to me.
yeah,
Yeah.
because immediately you learn a lot of what works and what doesn't
Mm,
work. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Been there, done that.
really,
Yeah.
you were okay. I never driven a final like that. It's
Yeah. Because in the world's last time, it was like we do it. So
hmm,
I remember 2014 in the World Finals, there was, you could, for example, Jake drove first, and after he had run, he spotted for Joel and he spotted for Manu, and we could all see each other's performances. So
well,
it's
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 one way to do it.
pressure building also when when you know what you have to do. It's not easy like that either. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
It's I think it's the way we do it is a bit more fair, and
Yeah,
it's you and your car, and that's it.
yeah,
And
correct.
I think that's a more fair way to do it, and also more interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
Does it put any pressure on the driver when you know you have so many spectators? Because
No,
there's
you
a lot
don't
of
think about it.
you don't think about it? I cannot
No,
imagine
no,
this pressure.
No,
no,
for
no,
for
no.
for me the spectators doesn't matter at all. I love when it's silence. It's the best. It's like,
Mm,
that there's so many people and they are
Yeah,
silent.
yeah, that's
And
yeah,
amazing.
I think for me, like the not the highlight, but the highlight is always when you finish the bloody finals course. That's the highlight every
mm,
time.
yeah,
Uh, but one of the funniest and highlights was in the United States. This was only the United States. The Worlds was the second final I ever drove, and I did one gate that nobody did before, and everybody was silent, and I was almost passing the gate. I had the gate totally controlled, and you could hear the crowd go, "Whoa!" And I was like, "Okay, I done something that nobody else did." Because then you realize, like, nobody passed what I did now. Nobody did before. So that was
yeah.
super nice. It was
Mm,
unexpected. Their reaction was, and for me, I was driving. I was like, "Okay, I did something good." But it was so funny. It
yeah.
was really cool.
It was same in the Sudix in Portugal in the pro finals when I did the high bonus, where you have to climb to the ledge.
Ah,
No,
yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah, yeah,
nobody
yeah,
else
yeah.
did it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, yes.
Then
You
you
took me.
instantly know that you were the first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but it's super cool, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah. Yeah.
like you
Yeah.
feel the reaction from the crowd. That's why I think finals are
Exactly.
so damn nice. It's so nice.
Yeah.
Remember one moment from this final course in Portugal when your card did drop, and I could
Mm.
not breathe for a second. I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody was like,
everybody was.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
That was my final course. I did the my first final course, I should say.
was
I drove the first half. Um, yeah, oh, Claudia. Um, the first final, I did half of the course. I did really nice, and then the second half, I started to become really nervous, and
Yeah.
it was really hard to drive. But I think that was kind of the cure. At the Worlds, I was not nervous at all, and then from all the finals that I drove since, is like super cool. Uh,
Mm.
so it also helps if the final goes the way that you plan.
Of
yeah.
course.
So
Of course.
then
That's great
then you
time
are really relaxed.
in the
If it
final.
doesn't, it goes like, oh fuck. Because
Yeah.
if the other guy did, you start immediately thinking, okay, if I miss this, if the other guy did, I will drop one place. It's very easy to get out of your zone,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then
Exactly.
the pressure comes. If everything goes to plan, like it's fine.
Yeah.
yeah, the pressure. I was
Mm.
shaking. Yeah,
Oh yeah. After the finals in Portugal, I was shaking, but like if somebody would give me a pen to sign, I could not sign anything. I was shaking, really shaking to the point that I could see on the throttle that I could not control the throttle. I was shaking like
Okay.
really
Mm.
bad,
yeah, I
Yeah.
really
remember
bad.
that.
Yeah, yeah,
I've seen it. In
yeah.
France, it was
Yeah.
not like this. In France, you were totally cool. You were almost sleeping before in the
Yeah,
shadow. Yeah,
yeah. In France was totally the opposite. I was very, yeah, shaking with the stick radio is really bad,
taking the
really,
stick.
really bad. Yeah. No, in France I was super cool on both finals, on the Shafty and on the Pro. Yeah.
Yeah,
The Pro was super nice. Like the course was really, really good. I was lucky in a couple of occasions, but again, like you have to look for that luck.
yeah,
Mm. Yeah.
right.
You need it.
Yeah, 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 for sure. Yeah, that last gate, that last boundary, the fucking boundaries on the floor. I have such a I hate it. There's
Yeah.
there's no justification on a big comp to be lazy to have chalk boundaries. I'm sorry. I understand on a local comp with your friends or like a
Mm.
regional comp, I get it. But on a big comp, just grab pieces of wood, put a hinge, and you have a 3D boundary. Those
Yeah.
chalk boundaries, guys, no, no, it's not good.
Yeah.
Let's get
Agreed.
over that, please. Let's get over that. And
The
also, like
boundaries are
it's like I don't know. I like this hobby a lot because there's a lot of things that I like and I can incorporate in this hobby. Um, and also I like for some reason, which is not definitely my area, but I like the product placement and publicity and all that. Like we have sponsors, they pay to be sponsors of the event, and when
Mm.
you have a 3D boundary, it's just another thing that you can put their logos and they get more value for their investment, and on the next event they want to invest because they have exposure.
yeah,
Because if
Yeah.
you don't have exposure, why is the company sponsoring an event if they don't have exposure? The way the event gives back to a sponsor is by giving them exposure. It's the only way.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like on the boundaries, everybody that is shooting a video, everybody that's taking pictures, you have the boundary. And if you tell the course builders, like, Rather, you want to make a boundary that is functional, or just a boundary that is there just for being there, just put one bloody boundary. At least one, every course needs to have one boundary for the sponsors.
Yeah.
And I think it works, and it's not that hard to make, so why not? Is more shit to carry, yes, but I mean, it's for 4 days, so
Exactly.
I think it's
According to boundaries, we should. There was a question a few weeks, I don't remember, in the ERCCA chat, if the boundary is only a boundary if you touch it, or if the car goes over it. And I think if you have a 3-dimensional boundary, only if you touch it, it should be a penalty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think either way, it's only if you touch it.
Yeah.
Either way, even if it's chalk, if you jump it, in theory at least, as far as I know, it's not a boundary.
Okay.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
But the boundaries, make it 3D.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the amount of mistakes that are made, it's not skills. There's no skills involved when you just don't see the boundary because it's just a chalk line.
Yeah.
It happened to me at the Worlds, and it happened to a lot of drivers that I've seen doing the same. And there's no skills in that. It's just like the guy didn't see it.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it's not much effort. It's
no.
For 1 hour of cutting up a few boards, putting hinges on, like you said.
And cheap, and you spend what? Even if you have to buy the wood, you spend, I don't know. Let's say that you spend 30 euros. 30 euros on an organization of a big comp, you have more than enough budget for that.
Yeah.
It's a few screws and a electric drive, and it's fine. So
Exactly.
guys, get your game up.
Maybe this is something to implement in the rules, to have 3-dimensional objects.
I don't know. You want to give. It's very fine line where you want to give liberty to organizers, and you want to have restraints. And it's the same thing for every rule. Like even for the classes, you want to give a certain amount of liberty for innovation and to have something different. But at the same time, you want to restrain so it's fair. So it's always like you don't want to overrule, to have too many rules, but you want to have a nice and smooth comp and to be uniform, ideally uniform everywhere. So if you go and comp in Australia, or if you go and comp in the States, it's the same. You can use the same car. That's the point of having the rules. But to say like the boundaries have to be 3-dimensional, like, I don't know. Then if you want to follow the rules, and you're just in a local comp, maybe it doesn't make sense. It's tricky. I think that some stuff is almost like common sense. And like, we didn't invent the wheel, but maybe some other guy invented the wheel, and you look at videos from another comp and they say, this makes sense. 3-dimensional boundaries make sense. Like, I
maybe
did
at
not
least
invent them.
At least in the bigger comps, it should be like
3D.
It should be 3D. Yeah.
It should be, but I think even the organizers of big comps should look at them and say, like, we should have these.
Yeah, they need to realize it.
I don't think it needs to be written. It's almost common sense, because if we've all run competitions where the boundaries are just chalk lines, and we've all seen people do mistakes just because they don't see them. And that, to me, there's no skill in there. Like, the guy just didn't see it.
Yeah.
Bad luck.
Yeah. For me at the Worlds, maybe touching that boundary on the final was a blessing in disguise, because if I had the boundary there, I would try to go for the gate, and I maybe would not have enough time to finish. Looking back at the videos, because it's not like, oh, I'm so good, I like to look at myself, but I try to learn as much as I can from the mistakes that I do. So I like to see my own videos,
Analyzing.
and I like to see other people's videos as well, not only mine. But I like to analyze and say, okay, here I made this, I should have done other things. I try to learn from that. And
Yeah.
looking back, I was so tight on time because I lost too much time on gate 9. When I went to 10, maybe I would not be able to finish. I don't know. You never know. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was cool. It was fantastic anyway.
Yeah.
On that final, I
Good.
just watched half of the video. I watched the video of the first half of the course, and then when I reached like gate 7, I stopped watching. Nah, I don't want to watch.
Yeah.
Is when I start
Uh,
to screw up.
Now that I'm not anymore in WRCCA committee, is the plan still to use the same rules next year as it was this year? So are the rules going to stay 2-year period?
Yeah, there are no conversations to be changing anything, and those
Okay.
conversations, if we're going to have them, we should have had them already, and we didn't. So
Mm. Yeah.
we
Still
have Nabil. We have Nabil on the group, which is, I think it's going to give new blood, hopefully. But
Yeah.
I think we will have, the rules are still not perfect. They never are. There's always work to do,
Yeah.
and there's uh, there's there's some stuff that needs, and again we go back, but it's normal because it's the class with the most rules, and newest class, which is performance scale. For sure there's going to be some tweaks, but next year, for next year,
Mm.
next year for 2 years time, so for
26.
2025 it should be the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point from Luca, to speed up
Yeah.
the tech inspections. Because you remember in the Zurich in France, the tech inspection was, wow, it was, I cannot imagine being in your
I
shoes.
I
It
was
a nightmare.
exhausted, physically and mentally exhausted
Yeah.
after that shit. It was,
Yeah.
I don't know, 12 hours or almost 10 hours or tech
All of
inspection.
them. All of them.
I was so, I didn't eat. Nobody gave me a bloody beer. I was, yeah. Actually, maybe it's not a bad idea.
Mm.
I mean, thinking about it, um, it's not a bad idea. Yeah,
It's
it's
a
not a
very good
bad.
idea.
It's not a bad idea, but at the same time, being imagine that you have a competition that has 70 drivers, and you say that uh, only, for example, the top 10 are verified after the comp, and then 10 randomly. If you are in the middle of the pack, is it fair for that guy if there is another one that stayed in front of him and his car is a little bit longer, is like 5 millimeters longer? I don't know, because if even if you're not at the front, even if you're not in top 10, you are still competing, right?
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
So even if you are 20, you still want to be 19. And if the guy
Yeah.
that stayed in 19, his car is a little bit out of spec and was never inspected, how fair is that? I don't
Yeah.
know.
The thing about this is, if you get your tech on, say, on Wednesday, and the comp goes from Thursday to Sunday, After the
Mhm.
tech, you are free to do whatever you want. You can unscrew your rod
Yeah.
ends 5 turns, and the car is
Yeah.
5 millimeters longer. Nobody ever will know.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
One.
And
One.
I think there's somebody might do this actually. There's some
Yeah.
individuals
Yeah.
that might do this.
Yeah. It's possible.
Yeah.
There's something that I liked at the Worlds was that at the finals the cars were checked before the finals. That I really liked about their organization. Was like the top 5 cars were checked before the finals, and I think that makes sense.
Somebody.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but somebody possibly, but I don't know. Are those people that make that, are they winning comps? Are they being on top 5? And I don't know. This is always personal. How would I feel myself if I would be cheating and I would not even be winning the fucking comp? Like, fuck, come on, why am I even trying to cheat?
Yeah,
So if you
because the wheelbase is the biggest advantage you can get. Cabin height or stuff like this, or the width of the chassis, that's totally does not make any difference at all. But the wheelbase is a big factor. If you can
Yes.
catch this lip or not to get the car up.
So tell me, on performance scale, which is the biggest difference? Because wheelbase is not regulated.
Yeah, which I think it should be, but that's another point.
Yeah, but it's not. So
Yeah.
Since it's not, what do you check?
On the performance scale.
Yeah, for example, like on the other ones, let's say you just check wheelbase, and I agree with you, because once you have a limit on the wheelbase almost becomes the most important thing. But on a class that there's no limit on the wheelbase, what do you check to make sure that everybody is on the same
The only thing
level?
that makes sense is the length of the front links. That's the only thing that could make a difference, maybe. In my experience, there's not very much advantage to put the skid more and more to the front. But that would be the only thing in P scale to body length
wheelbase. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's one of the. But that doesn't. That's not making any difference in the performance. It's only, I don't know where this rule comes from, but it's not performance related because of approach angle.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe in the rear.
Yes. Yeah. In the rear and the front, approach and departure angles for sure. It's interesting. It's an interesting approach to. Maybe it's something for us to look at for the world, because if we expect a lot of drivers, this is something that has been tormenting me, especially after Sutix. Is like, how the fuck am I going to inspect so many cars?
You have to split. It's not 2 guys on one table. We have to split this.
No, yeah, for sure. But I need to have several inspection tools at the same time, because So I've been thinking about this, like how to make a long table and just have stations for each class.
Yeah, that's one table for each class. So you don't have to check 5 cars from every guy, only one.
Yeah. And especially because I don't know. Sometimes I can be very, and if it's in the rules, I want to inspect it. It only makes sense, because if it's in the rules and I'm not inspecting, then what's the bloody point? So also I don't want to be looking at the car. Yeah, that's okay. Off you go. That doesn't make sense to me. Or you make an inspection or you don't make an inspection. Then don't bother. If you're just not going to look at it properly, but it's very time consuming.
Yeah.
Not so much in Shafty Pro, like the classic performance scale takes more time. And especially with the amount of drivers, when you have so many drivers with so many cars, it just takes time. And I don't know. Maybe just inspect wheelbase and wheelbase to body, but then performance scale is trickier. I don't know. Something to think about. Doesn't sound like a bad
Yeah.
idea.
I was inspecting the performance scale cars in Eurocrawl, and with the rules that they are now, it's easier already to see the rig when it comes to the table. You can instantly see if something is close to be
Yeah.
wrong. And so I was selective with my measurement checks. So I can see if you are running, for example, the cliffhanger body. I know what to measure. I measure the height, I measure the length to the wheelbase, and apart
Yeah.
from that, it's basically okay, anyways.
You
And
can
the
look
grill,
and it's okay or not. You can tell by just
yeah, and the lower links and the electronics that they are on the right places. The wheels, the tires,
Yeah.
you can check
Yeah.
them pretty quickly.
Yeah, and
nowadays.
that is a quick visual inspection for sure.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know. For the worlds, maybe making something like that. Maybe just pull all cars on one spot. The
Yeah.
group or picking them in the tank without. Oh, I don't want to chat.
One thing that would be that I think would I don't get the word, intimidate the guys if you have the chance to get caught cheating, because if you get caught one time, you always have the
Mm.
stamp.
Mm.
That's a cheater, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
I mean, accidents happen, the cars dropping and bending the links and stuff, but
mm.
that's something you can see obviously. But if
Yeah.
you
There are always certain guys that are
Yeah.
pushing the limits.
yeah
Yeah.
if you get caught one
Yeah,
time,
but
you always have the
even
chance.
even when you bend the links, normally your car becomes shorter, not
Order, yeah.
longer.
Yeah, that was only an example of
Yeah,
things
yeah,
that
yeah. Yeah. I've been bent. I've bent links on my pro car, and I only notice like afterwards, way afterwards, and sometimes like pretty good bend. You're like, oh, the car. Why is this car twisted now? Why is it acting funny? Yeah, and the rear axle is all like this. Yeah, it has happened to me for sure. I think before Eurocrawl now I had that issue, and I think the car just fell over from a huge spot and it was all twisted up. It
Yeah,
happens.
but they are difficult questions, and there is not a straightforward answer. And we don't want to make this like too strict, also, because we lost the fun out of it. Because somebody still has to do it, the tech, and nobody wants to do it,
Yeah.
and it's not easy.
Yeah,
I don't know.
for
Tricky.
sure. It's very tricky. Nobody wants to do it, and then there's always somebody that the car is out of specs, and then why is this car is out of specs, and oh, but it's only half a millimeter. Yeah, but where do I draw the line? Where there's no tolerance. The
Yeah.
measurement is this, is not this plus or minus half a millimeter.
That's correct.
And I mean, and then you get into the discussion, and it's like I don't want to get into that discussion, but at the same time, it's like it is what it is.
Yeah.
And the
What's
German,
German lobster device? What's this?
I don't know.
He has to
Anti-German
explain.
lobster. Yes.
Are the brothers drinking beer also?
Yes, I already got pictures.
I think I think we should make a big hat. You know, the hats that have this on the back, huge ones that cover most of your head,
Yeah.
like special German hats.
Safari hats.
Yeah, safari, kind of like that.
Yeah, sunburn. Okay, yeah.
Mm.
Just get a fucking sunscreen.
Yeah, or instead of a cap, you just get you just get the big hat. Yeah.
Yeah. We went to
Ah,
Portugal without any sunscreen. Can you imagine?
big mistake.
Yeah, big mistake. It's
Ah,
it's not so hot. How bad can it be? And it was really bad.
yeah, but
Even you got a
honestly,
sunburn. Sorry.
yeah. Yes, true. I got
Yeah,
sunburn as well because it was early in the season, and
yeah.
it's like that. But you should see. You were not there at the time, but for sure, Samu remembers. At Eurocrawl in Portugal, the sunburn that Samu got was like out of this world.
Yeah.
Was so he had a cap
No,
and the t-shirt was so between the cap and the t-shirt was like, oh, that was like he was darker
but
than me.
yeah, but that was for the whole summer, so it was not only this weekend.
No, it was the whole summer, but it was red from that weekend.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
proper red. Yeah.
Remember
Yeah.
Saku, your brother, in Finland in
Yeah.
2022? He had a head like this with this hole
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember.
of his head.
He had he still had it this summer, so it never went away.
Oh, it's the best. Yeah. Oh man.
The
Very cool.
original lobster. Oh yes.
Yeah. So, Danny, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Now that you drive more classes,
Yeah.
what is now kind of your favorite class? Still
Favorite.
performance? Still performance? If you have one, maybe you don't have, I don't know.
Mm, My favorite class still is performance scale because that's what I'm coming from, and
Hmm.
it's the most driven here in Germany. I enjoy the most, but second most is pro.
Okay.
But it's not
Cool.
like this difference. It's very close. I prefer
Yeah.
PC more, but pro is almost the same for me. Yeah,
Mhm.
I enjoy both
Cool.
very much.
And
The least,
when you
the
start with the super, you don't care about anything else anymore.
yeah, yeah. Actually, there's one for sale in Germany, and I'm always thinking about how can I make this happen, but not yet.
Don't think.
Yeah, the problem is the spare parts and stuff for the axles and so on. It's a pretty old
Yeah.
rig. There's no more parts available. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Steve is the best. Steve is the best character. I had such a good time with Steve back at the Worlds. It was unbelievable. And it was so funny
Yeah.
to organize because me and Steve, we both wanted to have everything planned as soon as possible. So
Mm.
I, opposite sides of the world, but and then we were trying to convince both French, Pat and Yad, to stay in the same place, and they were just like, yeah, we don't even know, yeah, we'll book the flight later. And I said, Steve, okay, let's do like this. You arrive first, and because we already had the flights planned, and he was arriving one day early. So since you arrive first, you rent the car, I rent the cottage. Each of us pays. You pay for the car, I pay for the cottage. Then we sort it out, and we make it so easy for the French to get on board that there's no reason for them to say no. So after having the cottage rented, the bungalow rented, and the car rented for many months, the Yad and Pat said, okay, we will go and we will join you. I said, guys, like, it's a no-brainer. Everything is done. You just have to show up. And so that's how we did it. So, but we rented everything pretty much blind, and me and Steve were saying, like, if they don't come, it will be expensive. Like, because we had everything for four and we were just two. But yeah, it was Steve, and we had such a good time. It was such a shame that nobody else was staying in that place. The place was awesome.
Yeah, it was like it could be a crawler village.
It
Mm.
had everything to become a crawler village. The
Yeah.
cottages were really nice, really
Yeah.
nice. The bungalows.
Yeah.
So
Better than in the pictures.
yeah. Even for me, in the pictures and the way that you had to rent was dodgy, and I was like, oh man, oh man. So I called them I called them and all that. Oh, this is still tricky, but once we got there and we entered, it's like, damn, this is super nice, super nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
And we had a place for 6 people in our bungalow. Two bunk beds in one room and one double bed in the other one. Hello, nice man. Yeah, Americ. I was so happy to drive in the same group as him with Pro, and I could finally see the what's the name of the
Yahoo.
car? The Dahu.
Dahu,
Yeah,
yeah.
the Dahu drive. I don't know. I think he makes it work amazingly, but I look at that car and say I cannot drive that shit. It's not for me.
Yeah, I
The
missed
car,
it. Sadly. I did not see it.
yeah, the car behaves in its own way. It's different. You
Yeah.
just have,
Mm,
if you can
yeah.
if you can tame it and make it work for you, spot on. But yeah, it
It's
has its
basically like the extreme route. It's so different than anything else.
yeah. The
But
extreme route, I would love if they would just sell the axles, only the
Mhm.
axles with normal
Yeah.
links. I think they would have a, a successful item.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
it was, it's very limited, very, very
Yeah.
limited, which is unfortunate. What about the French guys? Ah, yes, in the morning, Steve and me waiting for the French guys, and then Steve would just say, "Guys, the car is leaving in 5 minutes," and they'll go like, "Oh fuck, oh fuck,"
Yeah.
and because
Always the same.
Steve is an amazing guy, but he can get pissed. And at some point in
Yeah.
the morning, he was getting really pissed, and he was just telling me like, "I'll fucking go. I will go. I'll leave them here. I don't care."
Yeah.
Oh, it was so nice. It was so cool. Yeah.
you just got
It
off the French guys.
yeah. It was easy in Reposari because we were just staying in the
Yeah.
campsite, so we
Yeah.
can all go at different times. That was the best. Yeah.
Still not easy. I was with them on the Nordics this years.
Yeah.
Still not
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah, no, it will never change.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a
Mm.
fact.
At Sudix this year, okay, course building, 8 o'clock, 8:30, 8:40. Where are the courses? Like, where can we start building them? At 9 o'clock, okay, we start building the courses.
Yeah.
Tommy, you are making it very difficult for me not to go, but I will
Yeah.
have I will have to
See
see.
you there.
Fuck. I, I
Decisions.
I want to go so bad, but also I don't want to go, and I don't know. I want to go, but I don't know. I don't know. I should save money and try to go to Australia on the in 3 years
But
time,
there's a
2 years.
long time, long time, long time. You
That's
will
Yeah,
like,
long.
for next year, João.
Yeah, yeah. We'll see. Because for sure I have to go to Norway to Eurocrawl. That I have to go.
yeah.
But summer, yes, almost. At least with summer in Norway has double of the rain that I have in the winter here.
Yeah, you basically have no rain at all.
Yeah, too much. It's too bad actually. Um, but yeah, I have to go to Norway for Eurocrawl for sure, and I should go and check out the spot.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Maybe we can share a car and a cottage.
Well, if they have like a hotel, the whole hotel,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that bad.
We will have to find it out.
All right, we'll keep in touch.
Stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would love to go to Australia, Stevie, but I mean, I don't know. I still
There's
don't know.
things like family and children and stuff.
Yeah. But also,
But just
once,
a quick couple of weeks trip, so
yeah,
it's easy.
but also once in a lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Highly
Like,
recommend.
An incredible human.
yeah, thank you so much. I don't know about the human
I can
sometimes.
confirm.
Animal.
Animal. Uh, let's become less human and more animal.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I want to go, Stevie. I really want, but everything will kill me in Australia.
That's true. Well,
Bloody
people
Good
need to.
night. Good night.
all right. So yeah,
What time is it already?
I
Oh,
don't know. 12:30.
it's
Half
Well,
okay.
past one.
It's okay.
no, it's not 1:30. It's 11:30. I don't know.
No, it's not.
Depends on your location. It's
My wife. m-
for me.
I was having dinner. Yeah, I
Nobody
was
sees.
having.
It's okay.
No, you see, it's 20 past midnight for you. I was having dinner, and no, before dinner, and I told my wife, hey, you remember I have that thing at 9 o'clock? And she said, 9 o'clock is a bit early. And I said, look, there's me from Portugal, one from Germany, and one from Finland. So for the Finnish guy, it's 11 o'clock. For the German guy, it's 10 o'clock. And for me, it's 9 o'clock. So, it
Yeah.
depends. You see, for Steve, it's 9:30 in the morning. So,
Yeah.
Enjoy the
Depends
coffee.
where you
Steve.
look. And I only have
yeah.
to be at work after 7 hours, so it's no problem.
7 hours is okay. It's almost like a
Yeah.
competition. So
Yeah.
Sudix was the worst for me. Like I slept so little every night. It was so bad. They had
Yeah.
draft beer. They had draft beer. What could I do?
I
Yeah.
think David did not sleep at all.
David was sleeping more or less a bit less than me, so he was sleeping like 3 hours every
Maximum.
night. Maximum 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was sleeping 3.5, something like that. But it worked, huh? It worked
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. It always works one way or another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the next day you go like, man, I should go to bed early. Like
Yeah.
today I have to go to bed early. And then I go like, one more beer, let's go.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the
Yeah.
morning, it's obvious who did not sleep because they were very extremely late. Sometimes we talked about this earlier.
Yeah. No, but Samu is very strict. He goes like, I have to
Yeah.
concentrate for this one.
Yeah.
We was watching your blog about the Eurocrawl when you was
Yeah.
walking over the spot, and we said, when did this guy get up? When did he show up there? There was
Yeah.
sun was not really did not
Up.
rise early, and we was thinking maybe it's 6 o'clock in the morning. How did he do this?
Yeah. But the evenings were not that bad, to be honest. I got like good 4 to 5 hours every night, so it wasn't so bad.
Yeah.
I was always saying to myself, like, I will go to bed early, always like 2 o'clock in the morning. Always. Like
Yeah.
wrenching on the cars, like all my cars were done, but then um George he never had anything done. So wrenching on the
Of
car,
course.
like before the mini, I remember like, hey, do you want to change? Like I have a extra combo, outrunner combo. Do you want to change? And he goes like, yeah, let's do it just before the combo. Not
Always
testing anything. Like, let's go.
the best time to change your setup is before the comps.
Yeah,
There's no
absolutely.
test.
No. It's the best.
Yeah.
It works out, and we have a good laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was cool. This hero crawl was for me some of the best times was the expectation for me to see Samu driving stick radio with the mini I was not alone because when Samu was waiting to drive, like there was so many people on that course
Yeah.
looking. It was so funny. Like it was very cool, very very
But it
cool. And
went well. It went
it
well.
went. It took sixth place. It went really well.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you drove it for like 10 seconds or 12 seconds. You go like, it's enough. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was so cool. And
Oh,
even Tiago, he finished I think 12 or 12,
yeah.
12th place. So
Yeah.
he did really well, really really well. So it
Mm.
was quite impressive.
It
Good
was
times.
funny.
Yeah, I was driving that car today. It's a bit different now, more
Okay.
overdrive. I changed the gearbox.
Yeah,
Oh,
maybe on your rental car, the gearbox got changed as well.
Which one?
The rental car from Italy, clutch,
The rental car?
the car
The
you could
mini.
rent. No, the one-to-one car.
Oh yeah. No, it's fine. It was fine.
It was
It
fine.
was fine. It was
Yeah.
fine. It just smelled a little bit of clutch, but when we delivered, it didn't smell at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lucky for
It was all good. It was all good.
you.
Man,
You had
that
the driveway. The driveway was really, really a challenge.
yes, yes,
From
yes, yes.
uh,
That's
For
why the
us
clutch.
too.
That's why the clutch was sleeping. It was not that you tried to make a burnout. It was
yeah,
not that. It was not
absolutely.
not that. It was not that at all.
Oh man.
We 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 had like stupidly steep driveway and 90-degree turn on the top, and
Yeah.
the sideway went like this. So
Okay.
every time we drove with the people inside, the belly hit the ground. Every
Oh,
time sparks were flying. Oh my god!
oh man.
Nothing. Drive it like a rental.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
It'll be
No,
fun.
we just had to test the valves every cold start to make sure that the valves were good. So it was first gear red line,
Yeah.
second
Okay.
gear slow down. Huh? It was red line until it did and then second gear. It's cool.
Yeah.
Fast and
Rental.
Furious Italy.
Oh man, I had so much fun. I cried laughing inside that car. With on the steep hills and that you clutch kicking it to see if it could spin the wheels, and it would not spin the wheels, but it would still red line because it was slipping the clutch, but
Yeah.
not the wheels. Oh,
Yeah.
Ooh.
Slip a clutch.
and then after a little bit, all that smell of clutch inside the car. Oh, oh yeah.
Well,
Good times.
you were lucky
Oh.
to not break down, to get stranded.
Yeah, true, but we were asking for it.
Yes.
If he dies, he dies.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. That was the spirit. We were testing the limits. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Americ is a fantastic driver, but I think he doesn't drive that often anymore, which is a
Mm.
shame. But still, like he is super nice guy to hang out with for sure. It was such a cool guy
Yeah.
to
And he had this killer
meet
radio
again.
with 2 steering wheels.
Ah, yeah. You know, I have one of
In
those
Super.
radios.
Okay.
What,
You-
left for right-handed people or what?
No, yes, but with two
No,
steering
2
wheels for
steering
the
wheels.
2 axles.
Yeah. He
So
was driving like this.
Okay, in superclass. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
now we get to see it. Maybe. Just
yeah,
one
just one race per year. Let me see if I can explain that. So it was one of these Radio Master So you see the wheel here. He
Yeah.
had another one here. So he was driving like this somehow with both hands. So
Yeah.
one steering wheel here, the other one here.
Okay.
And I don't know how he was making it work. It was very awkward because the radio is quite big. So yeah, it was with this Radio Master, but with two steering wheels on each side. Very strange. I've never when I saw that, like, wow, what the hell?
Which crap.
Yeah, it was cool.
A lot of fun with the two steering radio. I can imagine.
Come on,
Crazy.
Americ, please, easier. It's easier.
Yeah, that's a nice radio. It's
It's
really
so nice.
intuitive. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, because I had the bulky radio before, the stick radio,
Yeah.
old school, and when yeah, it was a double start. I remember when I no, never. When I tried, a friend of mine had one of these Radio Master car radios, and I tried, and as soon as I hold it, like my fingers just went to the buttons, and like, oh man, I have to buy one of these now. And I bought
Okay.
one like soon after. Like it just the ergonomics are so much better. The car is so much easier to drive, so
Yeah.
it's really nice.
Yeah. Cool. So, anything else regards for the rules? You have any questions or any concerns about anything at the moment?
The only thing I would like is a wheelbase limit for the P-scale class, like it was in the beginning, 317.5. But I
Mm.
think that's off the table, probably.
It got in, then it got out. Um, I think the points that were made were valid points not to have it.
Yeah. Kind of.
Um, I don't know. Kind of, but at the end of the day, it makes it easier, but easier for what? I don't know.
Every class has this limit except for the P-scale class. The most limited class is unlimited in the wheelbase. I'm fine with
E-
it as it is, but that's one thing that I would change if I had
mhm.
the possibility to do so. The rest is absolutely okay for me. Everything.
No, but you see, Dom is saying tech, but not having to measure it, it's even easier.
You still have to measure it because of the body and the wheelbase.
Yeah, but I have to measure it. But did you see the measuring
Yeah, the
thingy from Sudix?
slide
It,
ruler.
it you make a slide ruler, you
Yeah,
have the space, and it automatically. So you don't have to see the measurement. You just have to go like zoop, boop, body, off you go.
that's true. Yeah,
So it doesn't make the tech easy. That for me, it doesn't make it easier. Um, then does it create an advantage on climbs and descents? What about on tight gates where you have to turn? It's not. My car is quite long. The wheelbase. Don't ask me how much it is because I never measure it. Because I didn't have to measure. I just build it
yeah,
Mm.
and off it goes. And I know that it's kind of on the long side of things, and it's nice when you want to grab, but then on breakovers and when you have twisty sections, it's not nice. So
Mm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, but you don't need to. What Luca was saying, I think was Luca. What he was
Yeah.
saying, it's true, but yeah, you can build that ruler and not have a wheelbase. It doesn't. I don't know. I think I wouldn't mind either way. basically. Like if it's decided like let's have a limit, all right, let's have a limit. But also not having a limit, it's not that deal breaker for me.
No.
For course building, true, that is true.
Yeah.
For course building, yes, but also like if you have a short wheelbase car, and if you want to build a course in a way that you have an advantage, you can still do it. Imagine that you have a extra long car, you want to have long climbs, and you don't want to have a twisty section, or tight gates. But if you have a short car, you want to have tight gates and more breakovers, because that's, I don't know. It's, for me, it's not a deal breaker. Like I could work.
It's not a
either
deal
way.
breaker, but it would even out the field, because everybody would aim for this wheelbase 317.5.
Yeah, I understand the part of making the course building easier, but at the same time, I think the cars they are all built within more or less the same distance, more or less.
Yeah.
Because if they are not,
excuse me,
if they are not built within more or less the same size, they will lose out in other areas.
Yeah.
And you want to have a car that performs in everything. I understand the point, but let's talk about another thing, if we still have time. If Samu doesn't need to go to sleep. What did you guys think about that idea that was a bit bounced around of making the sportsman class 4-wheel steer?
I liked it.
I really want to
But
build
then again, yeah.
It's your turn.
Yeah, I would see it getting separated from P scale, which would be good because right now they're quite similar, also mini. So that would make it more interesting, in my opinion, and it would open up quite a lot of tougher courses, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I would like it, to be honest.
Yeah.
What about you, Danny?
Yes, I agree with Samu.
Yeah.
I would love to have a 4-wheel steer rig.
Yeah.
I know I can get a super, but
yeah.
For me, the way I see it is a bit similar to you guys. Is like not bodiless.
No,
Not necessarily not necessarily bodiless. I like to have no. As far as rule goes, and this has been every year, it comes back again and again. If we do bodiless sportsmen, they will look exactly like a pro car, and that's not the point. Let's have a little bit of something different, or else they will just look the bloody same. And just let's have and people say, oh, but there's not enough bodies. There's a lot of bodies that can fit. Sometimes people just put in their mind that they want the body that is out of production for 15 years. Man, there are other bodies. And look, no, it's over there on the shelf. I just got the VW Bug body. You can still buy them from, I think the company is from Canada, is Blueprint or Blue something. You can still get a VW Bug body. Works amazing, and just there are a lot of options. So it's not a problem of available bodies.
Even the Exciter body is available again.
Yeah, exactly. So even that one. So there's no lack of body options, and I think that makes the cars different and visually different, which is not bad. And also you can get creative with painting and all that. It gives a bit more color, a bit more something different. Back to the four-wheel steer. I would think it would be interesting, if nothing else, to make it like Samu said, and like both of you said, to make it different from performance scale and mini. We have 5 classes. Three of them are shafty driven. Now even the mini, they all drive pretty much the same. The mini is a bit more twitchy because it's shorter, is narrower, is a bit different. But even now, a modern mini like the new one that I built and Samu drove, they are so stable. Nothing to do with the old minis. They are so stable. They are built like a 2.2 shafty. So I think those 3 classes are very similar. What is the issue that we have here? The thing is that performance scale is European class and Australian. The United States is not on board with that class. So for them, they don't see the problem of having 3 classes that drive exactly the same, because for them, they don't care about performance scale. So they don't only have 2 classes that drive the same, and that is fine. So they don't see the need of making changes, which I understand. Would I like? Sure. I mean, I'm up for trying different things, and I'd be down for that. It sounds cool, and it would be something different. But also, this is performance scale. It's such an important class for us, especially in Europe, and I think also in Australia. It has been giving us a lot of drivers, but it's not the same in the States. So the biggest market, the biggest amount of drivers, the place that has moved this sport is not on board with performance scale. So it's very hard for us to be saying like, but we want a car that drives different. Say, yeah, but shafty drives different than mini. And say, yeah, but performance scale. And they say, but I don't give a shit. And you go like, okay. Because their reality is different. It's the only class that we cannot agree on. Like it didn't catch in the States, and I understand why. So that's
but I still think that maybe they would be on board for 4 years in sporty. Maybe it's something WRCCA committee should be talking about. Not for next year, but maybe in the future.
It had been it was talked about, but
Okay.
Yeah.
Successfully.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. It would be an easy change on the car. You don't have to rebuild the whole car. It's an easy axle swap in the end.
It's not that hard. It's not that hard. At the same time, I am by nature, my own nature, adverse to change, to big changes, and that would be a big change. And I don't like the idea of making a rule change that makes all other cars obsolete. I don't like that. So that is one part that I don't like, because I still like the idea. For example, Samu's car. How long do you have that AX10 Sportsman? Like fucking forever. Those axles are at least
15 years.
at least the style of the axles, like they have been on forever. And I like the idea that that car is still competitive today. It can still win events. I mean, it's still a good car. But if you introduce a rule like that, probably that car and all other normal current shafties would be obsolete. So everybody would have to buy one new axle, one new servo to be competitive. I don't like that so much, but I would be down. Like, fuck, why not? Just change it a little bit. You know, we were so reluctant to change the traditional classes and when we changed mini class it was a huge success, and it was a bit of,
Mhm.
and Samu knows because he was still there. It was a bit of a lucky strike. Like we were not genius. We were just like,
Yeah.
this will help the class, and we changed, and
Mhm.
it transformed the class way more than we ever imagined.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would be
Yeah.
down, but I understand the reluctance of not doing it, and
Mhm.
um, unfortunately, I don't think it will happen. I would be down,
Okay.
but that's how
Yeah.
it goes.
There's a bigger picture.
Yeah, and it's democracy works, and not all the time it
Yeah.
works the way you want to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like that, and you just have to you you have to accept and move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's everything is voted. If people are not on board, say okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah. So now we have officially made the longest Clodcast there is until now. So yeah, I had a feeling that this might go this far.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah,
Well, I'm sorry,
there is
Jake, to beat your record.
yeah. But I think we will have guests that will beat this record also. So we will see. But
Yeah.
I think now we have down 10 people now more. Now we have 12 anymore. So maybe it's time to call it a night
All right.
and
Nighty
have
night.
another have another discussion at some point.
Yeah.
Oh
We
yeah,
will be
absolutely.
much more wiser again.
Next
Now it's
year.
time for me. Uh,
For the
Andrea is
video.
saying now it's time for the video. I can try, but I
Yeah,
am
come
not
on.
making any
Let's
promises.
let's do it.
Yeah, can try.
Let's see. Okay,
Um,
Samu will crash, so Danny, it will be just you
yeah,
and me.
It's okay for me.
let's. Oh, thanks.
Oh,
Hey, hey, Samu. Funny. Yesterday, I have tried to talk with the major at the city hall, but he don't like my money. I don't know why, but he don't like my money. I want to talk with the major for the Sudix organization. Yeah, but there's a problem now because all the guys is in holiday because Christmas Day and all is closed. Why in Italy one people work? Okay, so we have to wait January, uh, first, second week when the guys return to the work, and after I think we have some answer. And I retry with my money, and so guys, be patient, waiting a few days, and we have some answer to your questions. And that's the problem. And Merry Christmas to all, and see you soon.
Okay.
yeah.
Why
And
he
you
does
see,
not take the money?
it's a good money.
Why?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see how Subics goes in Italy. I mean,
Hopefully.
um, yeah,
Yeah, hopefully.
it it hopefully it will work for the best, because it's always tricky with, I mean, working with City Hall. also now for the Worlds we have a good opportunity because it is going to be elections next year. So it's like, and it's more or less at the time of the Worlds. And they were just like, okay, this is a good opportunity. Like we have people in, like, so timing is everything, right?
Yeah.
Native Italian.
Yeah, Samu was Italian all over the world because he was eating pizza all over the bloody world. All he could eat was pizza.
True.
Actually, the
True.
first thing I did when I arrived back home, I ordered a pizza.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Oh, guys. And let me guess, you arrived back home in Germany and in Finland and you went like, this is proper pizza, finally, you know?
Yeah,
No,
something like
I went to Italian restaurant actually. So
Yeah, they're all Italian, but
Pretty similar.
sometimes they are run by Chinese or Indians, but they're all Italian.
No. Yeah.
All right.
But yeah,
All right.
I think that was a good video to end this
Yeah.
stream.
Absolutely.
Thank you, gentlemen, for visiting, and probably you will have to visit again at some point.
Yeah, thanks for having
Yeah,
me. It was a pleasure.
it was a
Yeah.
pleasure. We are here to beat records, so anytime you need to beat
Yeah,
a
yeah,
record of the longest bullshitting talking video, we are down. Huh?
Yeah, we can make a marathon at some point, but I need a day off after this. So.
All good.
Okay,
Yeah, all
Merry
right, guys.
Christmas and see you next year.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, guys. Take care.
Same for you.
Yeah,
Bye bye.
bye.
Bye.